Hello and welcome to Tpull's Corner, everybody. I'm your host Travis, and the first 30 days are over. That was the master class and all the individual mechanics, and now what we're going to do is combine the mechanics. If you thought it was overwhelming to see one deck made out of just one mechanic, this is my favorite combination, when you combine First Strike with Death Touch in a deck that I've cobbled together called Death Strike. And what we have here is 21 creatures, 23 lands, and 14 instants to help give you what you need. Basically, in its essence, you have mostly the black cards are the Death Touch cards, and the red cards give you First Strike. So we're going to go through the deck, and then we'll take it out for a spin. First Lash of Thorns, 3 of those, gives creature +2/+1 and Death Touch. Thieves Guild Enforcer, which mills a couple cards, and later they get Death Touch. 2 Typhoid Rats, they come fully equipped with Death Touch. 3 Heightened Reflexes, they get +1 till the end of the turn, plus they get a First Strike counter. That First Strike counter actually stays the entire game. Storm Strike's a little bit different. They get +1 and First Strike, but only till the end of the turn, and then they get to scry 1. Blackland's Paragon is a surprise defender. He can flash in, he'll get Death Touch and Lifelink until the end of the turn. Boot Nipper, you can give Death Touch or Lifelink. It's situation dependent. Usually with this we choose Death Touch. Our first flyer, Fetid Imp, that we can give Death Touch to. Heartless Act for creature removal for those pesky creatures that Death Touch doesn't work on. There are a couple. Oblivion's Hunger to make one of our guys indestructible in case we want to save him for another turn. 3 copies of Sure Strike where they get +3 and First Strike. Sure Strike, which gives them +3. This is actually 4 copies of the same card, but it's from a different expansion, so they have different art. But that's really 4 copies of the same card. 3 copies of Croxa. No Death Touch there, but you know, when I'm playing red and black together, I find it really hard not to use Croxa. 2 copies of Hooded Blightfang. Not only do they have Death Touch, whenever you attack, each opponent loses life, and you gain 1 life for every creature you have with Death Touch that attacks. So this can be a game breaker if you get 2 or 3 creatures with Death Touch down, and they're afraid to block, and you attack every time. Grim Dancer, you can give 2 of the 3 counters, Menace, Death Touch, and Lifelink. 3 copies of Nighthawk Scavenger. This fills out most of our flying defense. They have Death Touch and Lifelink together at the same time. 2 copies of Aspect of Manticore. This is an enchantment, but it has Flash, which is nice, so we can basically use it at instant speed whenever we want. It gives them First Strike till the end of the turn, but they get a +2 that stays with them. And 2 copies of Vengeful Reaper, filling out the last of our Air Force. We can foretell them to make them cheaper to bring out, and they have Flying, Death Touch, and Haste. And finally, Creature Dreadworm, 5/4 Worm Horror. Landfall. Whenever land enters under our control, the Dreadworm gains indestructible until end of the turn. The rest is lands. Perhaps I should have more Fabled Passages, but this is the land outfit for now. We're going to take the deck out for a spin. Reminder, if you like the videos, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can be notified. Help us out, support the channel, please. Thanks. Here we go. Okay, not the best start. We don't have any red mana, but we'll see what we can do here. Aha! That's about all we need to be fully functional at this stage. Attack first. Not interested. Okay. still not interested in anything. Nothing to do with us. That happens a lot. When they see the death touch, they just want to avoid you. This little creature doesn't have death touch just yet, but they're not blocking her either. They're more interested in ignoring us and setting up everything that they want for themselves. Fine. Let's see. That's what we've been waiting for. First strike. They shouldn't be too far gone by now, but let's see what else they might still have up their sleeve. Yep, that was it. First field test complete and successful. Crawling Barrens. I haven't seen one of them in a while. We start with the death touch. We do not want to let you keep that. Did we get rid of here? He got rid of the righteousness. He's got trample. He's willing to give it up. And this is how Death Touch finally beats trample. Because normally you would still have to take all that damage. But first strike trumps trample. And yeah, we'll keep that. And I guess we'll just swing in and hit. We want to be able to do that again. They may not be expecting it twice in a row. The first time was obviously a surprise. Oh, when he dies, we deal damage, huh? I don't have anything to help with that. I do have a flyer. That flyer has haste. You can hit me with a 1/1 all you want. I'll just go around you. But we have the Crawling Barrens. I'm trying to control my mana so that I have enough to do a first strike whenever necessary. And with Blightfang down, I get the +1/-1 for the life total, since Reaper has Death Touch. So my cards are riffing off of one another, just the way they're supposed to. If he's just going to sit there, he's going to be whittled away. Normally you think Death Touch would have a little bit more problem against red, because red usually has so much direct damage to the creatures. This is not the normal mono red goblin aggro. I'm not exactly sure what it is we're facing still. But this gives me 3 points of damage every turn, and slowly 1 point of life gain each turn. There we go. Okay. Valakut Awakening. I don't think I have that card yet. That's a nice card. I want that card. Okay, he should have some more cards to his liking now. Here's a good one. Ooh, somebody has Double Strike. Ooh, somebody has a Beloved Princess. Ooh, somebody just lost 3 more life. Strange little combination red-white deck. Not quite sure what to make of it. But we'll do it. Flash. You two can have fun taking each other out. Alright, I've got enough spare mana. I can bring up the next wave. Double the life gain. Actually kind of quadrupled from the last time around. Each Blightfang works. So I get 2 for him because of 1/2, and I get 2 for him because of 1/2. He still can't bring himself to... Oh, he's just going to block finally. Is he going to deal me a point of damage? +7. Okay, but he doesn't have first strike, right? That's fine. This looks like a variation on an all-white deck I did recently called the Underdogs. Used Beloved Princess and the Righteousness, but I was having a little bit more effect. Okay, let's see. He's going to do some damage to me because Will's Fury. He had Fireblade Charger plus Kazul's Fury. That's a nice trick. He doesn't quite have enough cards to pull it off a second time. You only need... whoops. And we're done. Multiple colors. I'm kind of in trouble here, right? I don't have a creature. Let's see how long it takes for us to get one. We may not have enough time to spare. I'm getting flooded out with land already. See if I can thin that out at all. He's going to have some dragons on me soon. And me without any flyers around here. Okay, that's 3 dragons already. I need something besides land, please. No, something besides land. Okay, that's what we get for winning, right? We absolutely must lose now. Okay, yeah, no removal, no creatures. Just deal me a bunch of land and act like it's fair magic. The deck sorting algorithm. Thank you, Shuffler. Hey, look, they gave me one little dinky creature on the ground. That helps him with more Dragon's Touch. I would say good game, but that was not good. There's just nothing to do about those games. Normally when I get flooded out like I do on land like that, I have an urge to go into the deck and rip out at least one land. I've got to fight that urge. What are we waiting for? Let's go! I need some of those cards. They want to keep the rogues to keep milling me. And now we take a meaningful pause for station identification from our sponsor. Used a Heartless Act on a rat? That seems a little hard up. What do you got? Oh, land. Didn't want to give up his other stuff. You can do that if you want. He's got Menace. How do we want to do this? Let's bring out that guy. This is risky. He might have removal. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, I don't have the red that I need. I guess I'll just have to do this. Now see, I got flooded out with tons of land last round. Gross. There goes my other land. I don't think I have a way around this. I guess I'll have to do this. No, he's not going to let that go by either. And didn't get any of the land that I needed. Okay. That's pretty much another defeat as well. I wish the defeats were more exciting other than just getting flooded out on land or not getting the land you need. There are some limitations with this kind of strategy. It's not good for best of 3. You can probably guard against it by a certain point. Or maybe you want to have a more well-rounded deck and just have this in there as a strategy or a tactic, I should say, just once or twice, instead of having the whole theme of the deck be about it. But when you're playing best of 1, sometimes even if they know what your ideal concept is, it's kind of too late for them to do anything about it. I have to put things down while they're tapped out. See if he wants to trade me a creature. He does. Very nice. Kind of expected that. Kind of going through his whole repertoire real fast, though. What you got left? Another flyer. Okay. That means you're reduced to top decking already if you want to try and beat me. How made you think? Stop and wait. Ah, there we go. One more time. So you can have another one of those. You might have a whole nother set of spells that also unsummon me. But there is a limit to that. I like to keep him wondering with all the spells. What did we lose? An island and a pixie guy. Okay, another flyer. Do you want a double block? No, you're going to take it, and that gives me the life gain, which is to my advantage every time you want to let me through. Come on through. You give 3 points to me every turn. It's not going to matter now. Really, deck? At some point he's going to realize that I'm gaining more life than he's dealing. Okay. Oh, this is lovely. That precious life gain with the first strike and death touch. Oh, that is just, you know what? There's no reason to keep you around either. I don't need to worry about filling up that anymore, do I? I was going to save up and just start discarding lands, but I think it was kind of obvious how that was going. And that's what happens even when you're a little flooded out with land. But at least I got the lands I needed when I needed them. Okay, I got both color lands, I got creatures, I got first strike, I got death touch. I just need 2 or 3 more lands in the next 3 or 4 turns, and I'll be sitting pretty. This is a good deck to use if, say it's late at night and the reset's about to come up and you don't have your 15 wins yet. These tend to go fairly fast for the most part. It's not a complicated strategy. They begin to figure it out really quick what you're doing. I don't mind if they just throw a land. That gives me 3 points of damage against them. Some people, if you're like me, they really have a hard time choosing which card to get rid of. I wouldn't normally want to get rid of that card. This deck can also be easy to beat if you get the right combination early up front. If you get a lot of removal, for example. Nice little build up there. Let's go, what are we gonna do? Let's go Death Touch and Lifelink. Even trade? Even trade? Who wants to trade? No, you don't want to trade? Aww. I want some life gain. Thank you. If you don't have first strike, none of that's going to help you any. I mean, he does have trample. Ah. Nice try. I guess we'll get a land. A mountain. And we're back on defense, are we? I like indeed. So he's got Faceless Haven, but he doesn't have Snowlands. So what's going on with that? Having a 5/5 lifelinker doesn't do you good against a bunch of death touchers, does it? He has a chump blocker. I bet she's willing to lose him. Not willing to lose his Hallowed Priest. Don't really need the death touches right now, do I? Who are you willing to... You're going to give it up for a 1-1. I'm not even going to do anything against that. I nearly got you beat. I even left myself open to the Hallowed Priest. You could have got five back. Not enough. So yeah, a little bit of removal. A couple of creatures on their side and you're toast. But we do alright. Alright, this is a quick wrap up. This is just a quick little thing for those of you that are new players. I hope we showed you. If you didn't look at the last month where we did the Evergreen month, we had a whole deck focused just around Death Touch. We had a different deck that was focused just around First Strike. Those decks both did really good. I think the Death Touch deck actually went undefeated. Kind of surprised me. Here, we still have the same old problems that you always have. If you don't get enough land, if you get too much land, you're just toast. There's nothing you can do about those losses. But we did win more than we lost. And it's a nice surprise for a lot of people, especially since you're so upfront about the death touching going on, that they get settled in really early into thinking that's your only strategy. And the First Strike, the very first time you use it at least, probably comes as a big surprise to them. And even then, if you do it right, you've got so much flexibility on where and when you choose to spread the love, the First Strike love. Or even early on, if you got a Thieves Guild Enforcer and they don't have Death Touch and they think it's okay to block and suddenly use Lash of Thorns to give them Death Touch, that can be a rude surprise to them as well. And really just one Oblivion's Hunger is all that I think that I need in here to give me a little bit of flexibility to save one of them when I really want to, when it's important. Too bad we didn't get the Dreadworm out at all this time. But it's a fun little deck. First Strike and Death Touch. I call it Death Strike. Go ahead and play around with it sometime. In the meantime, come back again, like us, subscribe us. Remember, we're always going to have a new deck right around the corner. Have a good one.